Hey, welcome into the channel. This is the Italy girls trip and it's me, the Travel Bee. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you enjoy my videos. And this trip is about going to Italy with one of my best friends, Barb. We had an amazing trip and I'm just going to do some highlights and a few videos of what we did. So we started first in Rome, and of course we had to go to the Trevi fountain. That was a huge highlight. It was super crowded at the Trevi fountain, so there's probably some background noise that you can hear, but basically I tried to turn the volume down on that. We went off to the Spanish Steps afterward, and that was really fun. It was also very crowded. I was really surprised by everywhere we went, even though we were off season in November, how crowded it was. But we had some amazing meals. This was one of my favorite meals. I discovered how much I love burrata cheese on things when I was in Italy. And we also went to the Vatican Museum and St. Peter's Basilica, and those were a huge highlight as well. Just an incredible area, so many incredible sculptures that we were able to walk around in both the outdoor section, enjoying these beautiful scenes that I had always imagined that I would get to see, and then the inside as well. Huge crowds, again, like I said. This one, the guy was telling us to keep moving. It was so many people along there, but yeah, amazing artwork, amazing tapestries, amazing scenes everywhere. The Sistine Chapel, of course. Everywhere we went, it was just pretty incredible. And then on to St. Peter's Basilica, which was just so inspiring to be standing there in this church. You've always kind of seen it and imagine what it would be like, and it's really hard to put into words just how gorgeous and glorious it is. What an incredible sight. There were so many little tours around teaching people about the different aspects of the church, but we didn't take a tour. We just really soaked it in and walked around, looked at the sites. We're a little bit fast as tourists. When Barb and I travel together, we kind of walk through and get to all the different places. But this was a moment of pause to really enjoy and appreciate this this beautiful basilica and all it had to offer. And then it was on to a new location. We went to Pompeii, and I have to say this was so incredibly breathtaking. I didn't really know what to expect. I didn't really know what Pompeii was before coming to Italy. I had done a little bit of reading to prepare myself, but I didn't know it was just so many ruins, like all in this incredible area. I literally couldn't see it all. We have this really hilarious story about Pompeii, which I'll have to do another video on, but we kind of got separated in Pompeii, my friend and I, and had a really hard time finding each other at the end. But as you can see, it's just a huge area, so it's kind of no wonder you get separated. I had hurt my ankle at this point in the trip, so I was limping a little bit, so we sort of went at our own pace, and that was actually really peaceful, just to walk on my own around Pompeii and experience this incredible site. Just so much history, just so much culture, and we were there till the sun went down, but we were kind of at closing time, so that was why. Then it was on to the Amalfi Coast, another huge highlight. Such incredible weather that we had. We stayed in Positano as our main kind of home base for the trip, but we did go around to many of the different towns while we were along the Amalfi Coast, and I couldn't believe how beautiful the weather was. The coast was just gorgeous down by the water. I had an amazing afternoon with a book and a limoncello spritz down by the water, and then walked along the beach as well. So this is kind of down in that central area of Positano there. So I really enjoyed it. It was so colorful and so fun. Boats everywhere, lots of colorful houses to see, and just even we managed to find lemons on the tree, which was really cute. Lemons and oranges were growing everywhere, which was pretty fun. So really enjoyed that. Herculean, I can never say that right. That was where we headed on the way out of the Amalfi Coast. We thought we would stop at that archaeological site as well, and then it was up to Tuscany. So we did a pretty long drive, just to sort of shot up to Tuscany to spend a few days there, and it was really, really great. We managed to stay at a monastery, which was really cool, and then it was on to a medieval town. I'm going to say this wrong, Gimignano. I will do a video specifically about that town because it was so beautiful. But there were some amazing sights in that area that we saw while we were in Tuscany. Even the torture museum was kind of interesting, but a little bit freaky. I had this incredible morning with a hot chocolate that I just loved. I woke up early and went for a walk, and I didn't realize I was going to get such thick hot chocolate. But I had this beautiful time just sitting there watching the morning and just, taking in the sights as the sun was already up, obviously, it's pretty bright, but just really enjoying the morning, and later in the afternoon enjoying the gelato as well. So that was pretty cool. Then we continued through wine country and olive country on our road trip with a little vehicle we had rented. So that was really fun. I really enjoyed, seeing the vineyards, but again, it was November, so it was off season. There was a little bit of wine tasting, but mostly I took photos. It was a little bit more brown than green, but that was okay. The roads were crazy. It was very windy, but super fun. And we stayed at this really nice Airbnb that had a lovely kitchen, and it was just sort of a Tuscan experience that was really nice. And then it was on to Florence, where we did some shopping. I really enjoyed Florence for all the crazy deals that there were everywhere, but I also, of course, loved to be right in central Florence and see the amazing church that was there. It was really breathtaking and dramatic, and just a really incredible stop right in the center of Florence. It was an off day for some of the museums. They were closed, so we didn't do everything we thought we were going to do, but we did manage to get some pretty impressive sights. And then we went over to Siena, and an amazing church in Siena that was actually really understated. Like, I didn't realize it was going to be such an incredible spot, but it really was one of the highlights for me in terms of churches. I think I have to say I like this better than St. Peter's Basilica. It's kind of hard to admit that, but I really loved this church and these crazy striped columns. It was just so incredibly impressive, and I think this is the most peaceful time I had on the whole trip. We sat at the front of this church and looked up and looked around and had silence, which when two friends are traveling together, you don't always get silence. We have a lot of laughter and fun, but that was a very peaceful moment in Siena. And then we took off to Venice. Our last sort of area with our rental car was to go up to Venice, and to obviously we didn't bring the car into Venice, but we put it back, and we stayed in this awesome Airbnb, which we were very fascinated by this incredible door in the middle of our Airbnb that was just on a canal. So of course I had to take a video of the door opening because I thought it was so cool. And it really was cool. Like, when you first arrived into it, to have that amazing canal door, and then to just be able to kind of go right up and look. It was a lot busier than I expected, even though it was November. Like, boats were coming up and down quite often, so it was a busy area, but it was beautiful. And just to be able to sit and sip a cup of tea and look out at or a glass of wine for that matter, to be able to look out at the canal was pretty cool. It wasn't one of the main canals, so it wasn't crazy busy, and of course we did take a gondola ride on one of the other canals, so that was really fun as well. Our gondola driver was actually a bit cranky, so I didn't include any of the audio, only pictures from and some video, but he was like ready for retirement and didn't really have a lot of nice things to say about tourists and about Venice in general. So I didn't include the audio from the gondola ride. Maybe I will on another time. But the sights we were able to see were pretty amazing. It was just a gorgeous area, to be honest. And to be able to just be like, you kind of dream about a gondola ride, right? So it was pretty cool. So then down into central Venice, we really had a lot of great touring down here. There's a lot to tour in the central square. I was really impressed by how many museums. There was a whole bunch of different sites. I think there were like 4 museums in one you could go see, as well as the church, so St. Mark's Cathedral. So I really thought this central part in Venice, like, spent a whole day really enjoying and soaking up the sights and climbing up that tower as well. By climbing, I think there was an elevator or something, but it was pretty cool. And pizza, that was a really yummy pizza. We also saw the Bridge of Sighs and other things like that that are kind of iconic Venice. So just really enjoyed our experience. I love soaking up some of these kind of early maps of the world and the incredible places you see when you're visiting a museum in another country. I just find that to be like one of the highlights for me of a trip, in addition to obviously the sights and enjoying the beauty of a community. Some of the iconic, like this is like the main square in an area, so it's really beautiful. And then up the bell tower, obviously you get some incredible sights of the whole area. So yeah, so that was a huge highlight for me. And then it was time to take a train ride back to Rome. So that was our train ride that we took through the countryside, which was really beautiful. And then we arrived back in Rome. I was able to have this beautiful drink right outside of the Colosseum, which is where we were staying, at a really nice place, really close to the Colosseum, for the last few days of our trip. And then, of course, it was time for the Colosseum tour, which was such an amazing experience. I'm sure I'll do a video someday just about that one tour and what it was like, because it really was so hard to imagine. You can dream about going to Italy for so long and dream about visiting the Colosseum, and then you actually get to do it. And I felt so lucky. And traveling with my best friend is just such an incredible opportunity. I really love that. So for me, I would say breathtaking is the word I would use to describe this experience. I'm always looking for birds to photograph, so this was me taking a bird photo at the Colosseum. But yeah, it was, again, like most places, pretty busy. Even though it was November, there were big lineups to even get into the Colosseum at that time of year, which I didn't expect. But of course, we were able to get in and experience it, and I'm just so thankful to have had that amazing experience, and to be there with my friend, and to really just enjoy and appreciate a cultural icon like that. And of course, Palatine Hill and the Roman Forum, really close to the Colosseum, right there. And it was just as spectacular. Like, I guess I didn't know that it was just right there and was just chock full of so much. We had to actually go back a separate time because there was just way too much to see. There were museums within a museum. Like, it was just really surprising how much was there. So many ruins. And of course, what was interesting, it was ruin upon ruin, different layers. Of course, a place doesn't stand still over time. So as new rulers came in, they would replace and reset different ruins or repurpose them. So it was like peeling back the layers of this beautiful area as to what was there. And then, of course, just seeing the amazing, statues, figures. As I said, it's like 7 museums in one or something. It was just so incredibly impressive. So yeah, I would say that I could have spent a whole week just in that one area. And of course, we only had a day or two that we were there, but it was so worth it. And yeah, I found Rome. I'm so happy we got to go all over. But Rome was pretty impressive as well. And being able to sort of spend the last part of Rome just touring around and visiting a few last places that we missed the first part of the trip when we were there, it was totally worth it. And yeah, this is kind of our last view of Rome the day before we left. We did go to a couple markets and other things, but this was a highlight for sure. Just being able to kind of be right there in central Rome, at this castello, and seeing the incredible statues and the incredible figures as well. So that's pretty much it. Rome, Italy, it was an amazing girls trip. I can do sort of sub videos on different sections of it at some point. And the other thing I did for the first time in my life was I booked a photo shoot, which is kind of crazy, but I was like, I want to remember this trip forever. And so I booked this little photo shoot, and these are just a few of the photos. And I'm so glad I did, because now I have these incredible memories of this, what was such an amazing trip. So thanks for watching.